have been too bent toward the biomechanical, too bent to one side, too absorbed with the physical. So we have to come back to the balance. In order to do that, in order to get a feel for some of the things that will come out of that, you have to be able to perceive differently. That's a part of what this does. We are accustomed to listening to others and reading and all those things to get information. It doesn't work in coming to your spirit or coming to the totality of yourself. It is different. It is absolutely the reverse. It is absolutely the reverse. To care for the spirit, which is the opposite of flesh, you must care in a different way than you care for flesh. The very things that allows the flesh to survive destroy the spirit, or destroy your perception of spirit. Doesn't allow you to hear the spirit. Some things are said in all good conscience. I heard something today, the dedication of the African memorial. I heard someone say with the greatest passion, talk about the indignities suffered by the people in those graves. Those people suffered no indignities. The people who put them there suffered the indignities. There is no wrong in having been a slave. The wrong is in having been a slave master. So our thinking processes have to change to embrace the whole of things, to embrace something different. Okay. So that is a part of what this group will allow you to do, to see differently, to understand differently. There are many ways. Okay. Enough of that. That's about the group. Decide whether you want to meet with that or not. It is not mandatory. All these are just tools to help you get where you say you want to be. Now.
Question.
Yes.
You said, and I didn't write it down, think about not what you are saying, but
the order.
The order in which you're saying.
The organization of it, yeah.
Can you give an example of because I know we didn't get to the lecture yet, but what you just said about the things that allow the flesh to survive is the same thing that keeps you from living in the spirit or from the spirit. And so can you just give me like one example?
Eating meat. Eating meat, huh?
Right on.
Eating meat allows you to accept killing as a non-thoughtful thing. And to kill to kill wantonly and to kill on the level in which we do it, from spirit, we would never kill like that. The level, the amounts. So we kill animals to eat, so we think nothing of taking the life of someone else in whatever way we do it. Direct violence is one way. Economically is another. We don't think about the implications of what we do to attract money. We don't think about how that affects the lives of others, of living beings, of other human beings. We just kill. We destroy the balance of the earth because we think nothing of killing. We destroy the forest where many animals live. They die, they become extinct, and therefore the balance of the earth is affected. Spirit would never behave in such a manner, because spirit recognizes life, recognizes the importance of life and the sanctity of life. Is that good enough? All right. So that next pork chop. Tobias, did you raise your hand? Okay. Okay. Little clarification here. I often make statements that are attached to things that have been said in the past. I do that because I am hopeful that you have taken what has been said in the past and bring it forward with you. Therefore, you see the connection between what is said today and what is said yesterday. But what I'm finding is that that is not true. Okay. I'm finding that sometimes things are misunderstood because we haven't heard the law. If we haven't heard the law, we don't understand those things that extend from it. I will say, to be overly involved in physical things is not good. Somehow or another, that translates with people as physical things are not good. But that isn't what I said. The over-involvement in it. That to the point that it takes you away from the spirit. So one of the things that we have to do is we have to learn to listen a little better and hear what is being said. What is being said. I heard a woman today on Oprah who has written a book, I think it's called Eat, Pray, and Love. Had a great experience. I listened to her and I watched the reaction, and according to what I'm hearing, the reaction across the country has been great. Everybody's reading this book. But what you have to realize is the level to which she's speaking. Okay? The level of growth or coming to understand that she's talking about. Okay? She said, everyone must come to their truth. You have to think about that. If it's mine and it's yours, it's not true. True is true, is true, is true, is true. We must think about the absoluteness of the law. But what is said, now we're talking about listening again. What is being said is, this makes me comfortable. Between us, I'm not here to make you comfortable. I'm here to make you absolutely uncomfortable. I'm here to make you fidget. I'm here to make you squirm. So that we come to the absolute truth. And at the absolute truth, we will all see the same thing. Why? Because it's true. It's not an opinion. I have to come to it because it's true. One of the ways that I get away from the rule of the biomechanical body is when I accept I'm wrong. When I accept my assumption and that which makes me comfortable is not correct. Now I can live by the law. And when I can live by the law, I live as God itself. So we have to determine where we're going. What's the end here? What is the end? Okay. It is like I'm depressed. I'm depressed. So what do? I go to the doctor. I get some medicine that makes me feel better. So you stop taking the medicine, you're depressed. The idea is to solve the problem of depression. The idea is to understand what that mechanism is that makes that happen. Now we've solved the problem. Well, what is your truth about depression? Well, mine is, what are some of these drugs we take?
Prozac.
Prozac. Well, what's another one? So that's your truth. Lithium is your truth. Prozac is yours. You know? Jack Daniels is his. Okay. No. There's a reason that depression happens. What did the caveman do when he got depressed? He went out and found some peyote buttons and ate them, I guess. My point is, in being, there is truth. And we must stop accepting anything short of truth for the bottom line. To realize, to to make solid that you are God is the truth. And it solves all problems. All problems. The realization, the making real, the making solid in your vision. It's already solid as it is, but within your vision. To see, to recognize what you see. That's why I say to you about your analyzing the lectures. It makes you see something. And if you don't do the work, if you depend upon someone else to do the work and explain it to you, you still don't get it. The individual must do the work in order to go. Most of what we assume is not true. Most of what makes us kind of happy is not true. Marriage, a mate. If I have a mate, I'm happy. Well, I want you to look at the numbers of people who have mates and come back and tell me how happy they are. Everybody I know is always bitching about my mate. Oh,
I said, if your mother told you the truth, you wouldn't do it. Blame it on your mama.
yeah. Yeah, my mother did tell me the truth, but I did it anyway. She said, son, stay away from those bad girls. And I couldn't wait. Not to stay away, but to find them. We must learn that happiness does not depend upon anything.
On anything.
Anything. Anything. I am including people as things, because this is a thing, this body. You must be happy simply because you are.
You said many years ago that happiness is the natural state of the human being.
Yes, it is.
So if you want to be happy, stop doing things that make you unhappy.
Right. See, the truth is the natural. The untruth is the bending or distorting of the natural. Love is the natural. Hatred is the distortion of the natural love. We would distort it. We bend it when we look for something outside of us to supply us with our happiness. I am not happy, therefore it must be someone else or something else's fault. So I look to see what is different from myself. And usually, what is different from myself, the first thing I see is right next to me. My woman or my man or my kids or whatever. You're different than I, so we're not going to get along. I say, well, why not? Let's just accept that we are different and let's get along because we accept that we're different. And as the French say, vive la différence. This is a good difference. It's a good difference. What do? Women are weird because they think funny. Men are weird because they think funny. They don't think like I think, but they're not supposed to. So the problem becomes me trying to make the other person think like me or live life like I do. No. I accept you for the way you see things as a woman. You must accept me for the way I see things as a man. Our hormones are different. We look at it. We're different. We're different. That's okay. Most women, well, I can change it. Well, who the hell are you, the man whisperer? No. I have to accept you for what you are. I must. Because I have to accept the entirety of life for what it is. I must accept it. We talk about peace. We want to be at peace. How can you be at peace when you can't accept the truth about life? Now, what this implies, or what we need to do, is understand life in another way. Of course, it is not a happy thing to see people harmed, or to be harmed, or to harm. No, it's not. But because in life, the things that happen are an agreement of spirit. They are an agreement of spirit in order to grow, that the whole may move. We don't see how we don't move when we are gently nudged. It's the great smack that makes us move, the great horror. Were we not so stubborn, the whisper would be enough. In relationships I have had, I have said, please don't do that. Did they stop? Not until I started foaming at the mouth. Well, why? Why do you have to yell? Because when I said, please don't do that, you kept doing it. Stop. It is the same thing. So we have to have the horror. Bam! Now, let's change it. What is the way in which we look at it? The act that happens is not the problem, but the mind that conceives of the act is the problem. That is what must change. If you change that mind, we change the actions in the world. If we change that mind, we change the actions in the world. I had a friend, this was back when I was really working out, and it was around the time that Nautilus machines came out. And I was saying to someone one day, well, they have machines that you work out on now. And he says, really? Wow, I want to do that. Okay, come on. And he's working with the machines, and he's sweating, and he's complaining, saying, I thought the machines were supposed to do the work for you. No, you've got to do the work yourself. You've got to experience the pain yourself. We want to escape the pain. Again, in watching this lady today who talked about, she writes down all the greatest things that could happen every day, or that happens to her. She said, but I don't write down the worst crappy things that happen. That's part of it. You see, life is a whole. It is not a half. It is a whole. We must be able to accept the whole, the Tao. That is how it works. That is how it works. Or you hear people say, well, I don't know if I can deal with all this or deal with all that. But they say, I'm on the spiritual path. You must be able to deal with it all. Whether you can or cannot exist only in the limitation or the openness of your mind. And the moment you open your mouth and say, I can't, you have just expressed a limitation of your mind. Which means, if you want to understand what this is, you get your ass off of I can't, or I don't know if I can take it, and you take it. You find out the problem is not whether you can take it or not. The problem is you set up the barrier to make yourself think that you can't and thereby limit yourself. And when you limit yourself, that is your prison. That is where you live. But you want somebody else to come along and liberate you from that prison. Only you can liberate you from the prison of telling yourself the lie, I can't take anymore. And why would you want to do that? You see, it's about the recognition of God within yourself. Now, you tell me there's something that God can't take. If that's true, you take that God and you all go on off and live happily ever after together. What are you saying? This is, in fact, a child speaking. That is something that we have to get past in order to really know who we are. To know who we are. Grow past it. We are still living as 2-year-olds.